No, I'm putting it in front of you because it's where I. Oh, jeez. Yes, Lizzie? It wouldn't let you? Did it yell at you? What did it do? Okay, so, well, let's talk about that for a moment because obviously on Monday you'll be taking an OAA practice test for actual class credit, which means missed items equal lost class points. And you want to understand the interface. Lizzie, are you able to get to what I'm looking at right now? Sweet. So you would see assigned lessons if there's a practice test that you've not yet begun. So you click on the assigned lesson, you click go, and what happens? Strange. I'll take a look at it in a moment. Incomplete assignments are those what? Of course. It always loads when there's somebody else trying to help you. But when you're doing it on your own, it doesn't work. But let's get back on track from where we left yesterday. You should not see any incomplete assignments unless there's maybe practice number 2 that you never submitted, but we said that was not due. So practice number 3 should be in your results drop down, and you should pull that up. Once you see the results, you should see a grid indicating all of your correct and incorrect answers, your scores, and all that good stuff. Remember how you look at your results specifically. Look at the button above. It says Print Results. Click that. When you click that, it'll ask you if you want to connect to a printer. You say not now, because of course we do not yet have a printer in this room. Why? Have you had a piece of paper for this class in the last month? Neither have I. It's pretty sweet, isn't it? I like it. Anyway, you'll see a print preview window that'll show you your test results in really small font. Click X in the top right of that, and then you should have your browser window open with your results. And it'll show you all sorts of text, including, and what's most important, your writing. Yes, Paul? Did you complete it and submit it? That's why it's not in your results. So you're looking at your results. I can't show that to you on the screen right now because, of course, I have not submitted mine because mine is being used in class as the demonstration. So I'm still, oops, wrong one. Back. I am still looking at it in progress because I've only completed questions 1 through 7 with a skip on 6. You should also, from Google Drive, open this, which is the file that contains the reading selections that I've copied and pasted for you. And you should have your OAA practice notes file open as well. So 3 tabs important to you today. Your results for the OAA practice, the document that gives the reading selections, and your OAA practice notes. You probably have 4 or 5 tabs open, but you know what I mean. Those 3 will be our focus. Let me know if you have a problem you can't understand in setting yourself up today. We good? Yeah, something's wrong, though. Yeah, Sarah. You mean, did you not save it, perhaps? Perhaps, was it the last thing that you did? Maybe you didn't click Save and Continue. Maybe you just submitted test without it being saved. That's possible. Okay. And unfortunately, if that's the case, there's nothing to do to recover it. But anyway. Wait, what's wrong? I think it's because Max is not here. No, Bryce being there doesn't bother me, but Max, you know, such a pleasant, smiley young man. I know, doesn't it? It feels less happy. No. He's not loud. Because Max is not here. Actually, most of us are here. A few others are not here. I know, but it's all about Max. You know what? It's Friday, right? So we can carry on? Yeah? And let's see. Do you notice what's on the card for the 29th? Spring break, right? That's right. So we have a week. Yes. A week until spring break. I think we're going to carry on through Max's absence. Alexis, what's up? You can come in on spring break all you want. I'm not gonna be here, but if you want me to leave you an assignment, I'll be happy to. Number 6, look in your results for question 6. It's a written response. If you have written that response, then you will see that response in sort of a grayed out box right above a bunch of discussion on how it should be graded. We left here yesterday. Let's pick it up. Predict how Bob E. Brown will feel the next time he has a professional performance. Then explain your prediction with information from the passage. We talked about how if you're looking at an item like this, you notice it's 2 points, which means roughly 2 sentences, possibly more. But be safe by writing 2 sentences. You should also then go back to the prompt and divide it into the 2 points that you will earn. Sierra, can you tell me one of the points that I will earn for this? What do I have to do? A detail from the story? Yeah, that's point number 2. Good. Supporting detail for the first sentence. That's my second point. So Sierra's kind of doing this backwards. What's my first point? She's correct. Haley. A correct prediction. Maddie, can you give me a correct prediction on how Bob E. Brown will feel next time? Good. Evidence? Come on, sir. I think that's good. He will probably feel more comfortable with performing. In this performance, he begins to feel comfortable. I didn't watch my hands like I usually do. I watched the faces of those people watching me. I sang to them, not at them. It's evidence, as Sierra said, that supports the first statement. You have a correct first statement. Maddie's told us he'll feel more comfortable. We know that's true. We're good. Time for the porcupine selection. So just as we did yesterday, I want you to take a couple minutes to refresh your memory on this. Read through it. You don't have to read every word in detail, but definitely skim through every paragraph. Remind yourself of what goes on. Okay, even though you may not have had a chance to read through every sentence carefully, you've refreshed your memory on it. I think we're good to go. Let's take a look at question 8. Which statement describes a characteristic of the porcupine found in the passage? And then we have 4 statements. She hopes to be fed by the people in the cottage. She prefers to sleep during the day. She knows how not. She does not know how to swim. She's able to move quickly. What will students that don't really know how to take these tests do? Guess. Based on what? Which means maybe memory, which is probably pretty faulty. Especially you guys know what you do. You drift in certain paragraphs. Your memory's not going to be perfect because you're not paying perfect attention to everything. So it's not going to work if you do that. You might get the right answer, you might not. Let's find evidence in the text for each one of these answers, either positive or negative evidence. In other words, we're going to be able to prove one of them true and disprove 3 of them. So find evidence that either disproves one or proves one. Cody.
A is wrong because in the first or second paragraph it says that the cottage was boarded up.
You are correct. Your memory is correct, but we're going to verify your memory because it's not in the first or second. It's in the fifth. Is it the fifth? Cottage was well boarded up, allowing no easy access. Good memory, Cody, but we're double checking. We've got a paragraph 5. We've disproved A. Keep going. Prove or disprove? Kurt, where's your disproof? No. Right. Evidence from the text. I don't know, this might be the one porcupine that doesn't know how to swim, right? It could be the little porcupine that couldn't swim. Bryce.
In paragraph 9.
Paragraph 9.
It says she was quite capable of swimming but felt no sense of urgency.
Excellent. She was quite capable of swimming but felt no sense of urgency. I've disproved C. Sarah.
She is wrong.
Why do you say that?
Because in the second paragraph it says she shuffled over the concrete carpet.
Yeah.
And
Shuffling's not very fast. There's also later on, I think, waddling.
well,
She waddled down, so she's not moving very fast. I want affirmative evidence for B. Prove B. Haley.
says that
Which paragraph? They're numbered. Nine. Okay.
I don't know if you said that time, but somewhere it says that she, when she was stuck on the boat, she had like nowhere to go, and she was like falling asleep during the day. I don't remember what paragraph.
Okay. You're correct, but let's see what we can do to find it. Maya.
Paragraph 4 is the porcupine waddled down to the lakeshore for drinks and back up to the slope, which she called into a space within the woodpile, and the shelter station with Dale and Albert in another room.
Excellent. Good enough. I know you've got more, Aisha, but I think we've got it. B is correct. And we are right. Next question. The porcupine sniffed delicately, standing on her hind feet and running her forepaws over a well-worn axe handle. In the sentence above, what is the meaning of the word formed by the root delicate and the suffix ly? Hold on. Suffix ly, what are you immediately thinking of? Adverb, thank you very much. Through first semester and our vocab word transformations, whenever you see a suffix and them referring to a suffix, you should immediately think part of speech. And it's an adverb. Kim, what do adverbs do? They can describe adjectives, you're correct, but their primary use that we're talking about is describing what? No, that's an adjective. Come on, adverb. It's in the word itself. Yeah, that's why it's adverb, right? Kim, in the sentence, the porcupine sniffed delicately, standing on her hind feet, what verb is delicately modifying? Sniffed, right, it's telling how sniffed. Look at A through D. How did my knowledge of adverbs and the fact that we're talking about verbs help me narrow down my selections? D. I can knock out 2 right off the bat. Mark. Why am I knocking out A? Has nothing to do whatsoever with verbs or actions. So A is gone. Which other one is gone for the same reason? D is gone because more fragile than something else is talking about adjectives and nouns. So look at that. Part of speech knowledge can narrow you down to 2 choices right off the bat, B or C. Done in the careful way, completed in a perfect manner. Now we just have to divide between the 2. Go ahead, Kim. Why? Tell you what, here, let me help you out. Key word it. What's the most important word in B? What's the most important word in C? Which word, careful or perfect, more closely matches delicate? There you go. That's why you answered B. These questions, I like these questions. That question asks you to understand parts of speech and their function in sentences, and then also asks you to key word and do some matching. 10. With a soft grunt of satisfaction, she began to nibble on the wood that so many human hands had gripped. By the time dawn's approach faded the inky sky to pearl gray, the axe handle had been neatly severed in half. In the last sentence above, what does the word severed mean? Go to your OAA practice notes, please. You have a series of pieces of advice on taking multiple choice questions. Eliminating obviously incorrect answers, blah, blah, blah. Here's a new one. I don't believe you have this in your list. So add this, please. On vocab items that ask for synonyms, on vocab items that ask for synonyms, on vocab items that ask for synonyms, practice replacement. On vocab items that ask for synonyms, practice replacement. Do we have an idea what that means? Mark?
Where like you take that word out and then put it in.
Yeah. Take severed out and replace it with each of your options. See which one sounds right. See which one makes sense. You will face numerous types of vocab items. Some of them will be roots-based, like we saw. Some will be part of speech-based. Some of them will be context-based. This one is synonym-based. Let's replace. The axe handle had been neatly torn in half. The axe handle had been neatly twisted in half. The axe handle had been neatly chosen in half. And the axe handle had been neatly divided in half. Alyssa, which one goes out immediately? It's just sounding wrong. That's right. We're not choosing something in half. So C is gone. Lauren, can you get rid of another one, A, B, or D for me, please? Why twisted? You're correct, but why are we getting rid of it? You don't necessarily break something in half by twisting it. Very good. That works. Matthew, get rid of another one for me, please.
Okay.
Why are we getting rid of torn?
Because pairs aren't necessarily neat.
There you go. The adverb neatly modifies the word severed, and it doesn't make sense with torn. And that leaves us with divided. Let's see. Alexis, can you tell me what word in there tells me that divided is probably correct? What word in the original sentence? Half. Very good. See, you guys are doing a great job. Remember, you should be looking at your results at the same time. You know, multitask. Bounce back and forth. See if you answered this correctly. And if you didn't, take a look at your original answer and ask yourself why. Were you simply not paying attention? Did you not go step by step? Did you not go slowly? Or did you really not understand? If you really did not understand, raise your hand. Ask for help. I'm trying to explain these questions as clearly as I can. But if I'm not hitting it for you for some reason, you got to let me know. Reflected moonlight from the rippled surface of the lake knifed through slits in the dock. Which statement best explains the meaning of the sentence above? You know, you can rush into the answers, but let's not rush there until we understand the question. Cody, tell me what that means. Reflected moonlight from the rippled surface of the lake knifed through slits in the dock. What's being described?
How the moonlight is appearing.
And describe how it's appearing for me.
Like in thin lines.
Very good, in thin lines. And what's creating those thin lines?
The reflection off the water.
Correct, but why is it in thin lines?
But
The dock and the wood, right? And the gaps between the wood. All right, we have an understanding of it now. What's the strange word in that sentence? Rippled's pretty clear. There's a word that's being used strangely. Can anybody explain how knifed is being used? Mansoor?
It's like child actually it's kind of like it's hard to explain.
It's actually pretty easy to explain. If I've knifed somebody, what have I done? Or, cut. I know, grisly example, I apologize. As we all laugh. The image of Mr. Clarkson knifing somebody. I'm so glad this is going to be on YouTube. Cut. The moonlight beams are cutting through in blade-like shafts of light. That's what knifed is all about. Now, we've tried to understand the passage, a challenging passage of imagery before we even go to the options. Let's see if that makes it easier for us. Water was wearing away at the dock like a sharp tool. Moonlight revealed a knife that had fallen into the lake. Narrow rays of moonlight shone up between the boards of the dock. Moonlight reflected off the water like light gleaming off a sharp knife. See, Sierra, can you get rid of one of those for me, please? Yeah, that's the first one. Why is that going away? Knifed is being used in what sense? Sierra, do you know what part of speech or what figure of speech is being used? It's not really a knife. It's being compared to a knife, which means what do we call that in literature and language? We haven't really discussed it this year yet. Aisha. It's a metaphor. But Sierra, you're absolutely correct. There's no literal knife. That's why B is silly and we're getting rid of it. All right, let's get rid of another one. Maddie. Why are we getting rid of D? There's no knife. That's correct. But we do use the word like. But still, we're using knife to describe the shape of the shafts of light, not the way it's gleaming. Kim, get rid of another one. Yep, why? That's right. There's no wearing away at all. It's all about the moonlight. So A is another one that should just go away immediately. Narrow rays of moonlight shone up between the boards of the dock sounds pretty close to Cody's description. And we're correct once again because we rule. How does the author choose to present the story in the passage? The question doesn't really help me present the story. Let's read the answers. By relating the porcupine sounds and actions as told by another animal. By relating sounds and actions of all animals as told by a person in the cottage. By describing the porcupine's feelings, sounds, and actions through a third-person narrator. All right, back to it. By describing the porcupine's feelings, sounds, and actions from the porcupine's first-person point of view. What's this question asking me about? What literature concept? Mark?
What point of view?
Point of view or perspective. Very good. So which one can we get rid of immediately? Because you don't see what in the selection, Mansoor? I or me. It's not there. Good. So D's gone. Cody, what else?
A, because it's only the porcupine. It doesn't mention any other animal.
No other animals even mentioned. Excellent. A is gone. What else? B. Why? There are no people in the cottage. By describing the porcupine's feelings, sounds, and actions through third-person narrator. Sounds good to me. Bingo. Next question. It's written. Skip. What theme does the passage illustrate? Maya, what does theme mean again? It's a theme. Not so much, it's not about description, it's not about mood. Think about theme. Bryce, you remember what theme means? Sierra. Main abstract idea of the passage? The lesson of the story. Anything to add? The wisdom. Ooh, I like that. It's all poetic and Yoda-esque. What else? Cody? Yeah. Okay. Stretching. Kurt? Raise your hand to say I don't know. Oh, okay. My specific definition is the central insight into human nature provided by a story, but all of those basically mean the same idea. The abstract idea we're looking at. All right, good enough. We've defined the concept. It's one of the pieces of advice in your answering multiple choice questions list. Now let's do something else. Go back to that OAA practice notes document. Make sure this one's on there. It might be. We might have discussed it. Identify key words in answers. We call this key wording something, and we make it a verb. Identify key words in your answers. So, and this is for multiple choice. Key wording is a skill that is somewhat useful in OAAs and OGTs. Often you don't need it. Man, SATs and ACTs, you need it constantly. Key wording. Identify key words in your answers. Let's apply it. A, nothing in life happens without a plan. Cody, what's the key word in that one?
Plan.
Very good. So maybe my theme is about planning. All right. B, suffering results in wisdom and strength. Sarah, what's my key word in B? Nope. And by key word for a theme, I'm talking about the thematic concept, right? First one's about planning. What's the second one saying it's about? What's B saying it's about? Suffering, right? C, adventure can occur when least expected. Alexis, key word in C. Adventure is correct. D, the laws of nature apply to animals and human beings. Kim? Yeah, nature and laws of nature. That's kind of one concept, okay? So we've got planning, suffering, adventure, or laws of nature. Which one can I get rid of? Mark. Why? There's nothing talking about the laws of nature, right? In order for there to be laws of nature, the porcupine would have had to have been wearing a hat and doing a dance, right? And trying to violate its nature. But actually, it's going along with its nature quite well. And there are no human beings in the story either. Sarah, why are we getting rid of A? No planning. Alexis, can you eliminate the last one? Give me the answer. We're eliminating B? Yeah, why? There's no suffering. Not like the porcupine loses a leg or something. So, once again, we laugh. Sick group of people. Does adventure occur in this story when least expected? How? Right, but what happens that's adventurous?
She fell asleep in the boat.
Uh-huh.
Started floating.
Right, suddenly she's on a river journey. Is there a part two? Should I make it a homework assignment for you guys to write a part two? No, what? Just because I said the word homework, that sounds like fun, right? We should find out what happened to the porcupine. I know. You haven't done any sort of creative writing assignment in a while. Maybe I'm going to think about that.
Continue on my story about my sheep.
I'm really not sure I want to explore that at all, but I'm sure it was. Last one. Yes. Okay, but make sure that your question 13 results, your question is up. Your answer, I should say, is up on your results page, and that you know what your score is. It's 2 points. We've got 2 points here. So, Sierra, go for it. What's my first task in this?
To describe what kind of year it is.
With evidence, right?
Yeah.
What's my second task?
To
No, actually, that's kind of part of the first task still. Look at the second sentence. Then explain why the season is important to the plot. So you've got to explain the importance of that season to the story, to the development of action, of content, and so on. All right, what time of year is it, Cody?
Fall.
Why do you say fall?
Because in the beginning, it talks about the golden and brown leaves on the ground.
You know what's going to be funny? You're going to actually take the actual OGTs. That's not the funny part. You're going to take the OGTs, you're going to take them on paper. Did you just ask if you could punch yourself? I know. No control C. You just have to use. I can't wait to see you guys after that's all done. You'll be like, oh, my hands. Yeah, that's right. You'll be using your finger to try to select text and copy it and paste it down in there. Go, raise your hand to the proctor. It doesn't work. It's broken. Oh, yeah. If you want to find somebody that'll fund portable electronic devices for the entire school, knock yourself out. Yeah, well, that's great. We would need them for what? How many students? 300, 350?
I buy my own.
Okay, hey. Come back. First point is accomplished. Somebody tell me why this is important to the story.
Because if it wasn't fall, she wouldn't have gone out in the classroom.
So does it explain her motivation? Another answer?
It can also explain why the boat was stuck on the dock.
Sure. Explains why the boat is where it is.
I thought people leave the cottages during like fall and winter.
That's right. That explains the absence of people and why she can do what she wants without interference. Anything else? Could explain why there's so much. The river is where it is in terms of the level of water. I don't know. These are all ecology ideas, and I'm an English teacher, not a science teacher. But I do know literature, and I understand that if the porcupine doesn't have a reason for doing what she's doing, then the story doesn't make sense. And the setting helps me understand why she's doing what she's doing. 2 points. Did any of you pick a season other than fall and still earn 2 points? Some of you did. You know why? Because I think you have enough evidence in the selection to point to a different season like spring. Seems to me that rain happens a lot in April. And probably before warm weather hits, that cottage would still be boarded up and everything would be closed. And possibly after everything thaws, you would find those brown leaves. And seems to me, what month is it right now? It's March. I'm looking at golden brown leaves on the ground out there right now. Yeah, and that's exactly what it said in the story, that it's in the forest. So there's enough evidence for you to say it's spring and to defend your answer. Lesson to be learned. It doesn't always matter whether you have the correct answer. It matters how well you reason and pull evidence from the text to support your answer. I could pull at least 3 pieces of evidence from the text that would support my answer about spring. Many of you went to fall because immediately one of the first details is golden brown leaves, and you think, oh, fall. There we go. But then some of you said it can't be winter because the river's not frozen and everything seems to be, or there would be ice or snow, and that's not present. Bryce?
It says that there's hard frost.
That could happen in spring too, though. We've got predictions for snow next week. Not that kind of snow, just like some annoying little flakes, but still, you could have freezing temperatures. Hey, we're experiencing freezing temperatures overnight right now. And it's technically spring. Because the first day of spring was what, 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't, it's because it has something to do with, I don't know, what's the first day of spring? Some kind of, no, not the economy. the, the, the equinox, right? Everything in the human world, that's true, but not everything in the natural world. Questions? Questions? We've done enough on prepping reading selections. You'll take these tests on Monday, and then we'll be done with it, and guess what we get to turn to? The writing test. That's a